the watering shot and the pickle. And in focus. Boom. There we go. That'll do. Okay guys, welcome back to Robert's Co. Welcome back to London, another live jewellery making session. Back on annealing. Even I'm getting bored with annealing now. I think we've been annealing for days, but it is like, it's one of those things when you're making jewellery, especially when you're making wire from scratch, it's a rinse and repeat thing. I've got these need annealing, and then one that's there, these all still need annealing as well. That's been going on for weeks, but actually no, that's finished wire there, but some of that's 18 karat gold. I need to get this wire done, but I really want to get these closer to those before we go on to those. Anyway, these need annealing. These have been peened. These were sterling silver ingots. They were poured. I think I did pour them in a live stream so long ago. They went wrong. Every time I was heating them up, they were like extruding this black silver oxide. They were taking on board water, and it was getting squeezed out when I was rolling them. So I remelted them, poured them. I peened them quite a lot. I peened them 6 times, I think, and got the edges nice and square. And so far, so good. They're on the second go through the rolling mills. So yeah, I peened them right so that the edges were really sharply squared off, which took about 6 goes. Peened, annealed, and as you can possibly see, the square holes on rolling mills are sort of octagonal. They put this little octagonal edge on them. So it's really just getting them shaped at the moment. They're not quite, they're still rectangular rather than square, but that octagonal edge. And this is on our full-size Durstons. These are going to the full-size wire mills. They are actually less than 7 mil. So in theory, they should fit through our our mini Durston rolling mill, which has apparently got 7 mil wire grooves. Obviously it doesn't, because they don't. We've gone over that in our rolling mill video, what they've done there. So yeah, these are starting to take shape as square, well, octagonal, but mainly square. You can see it's putting the flat on there, still a sort of peened edge there, but we need to anneal these before they go back through another pass on the rolling mill. So that's what we're doing. They're starting to get quite long actually. That was fitting nice. They were all fitting nice on there. They're slightly overlapping now. I'll turn that way. We'll use 2 torches for this. So we'll get them up to a dull red, quench them in the water, clean them in the pickle. That's the plan, and then rinse and repeat tomorrow. This is one of those jobs that I kind of have lots of. This will be something I do as a sort of, you know, a side project, is making wire, and I'm sort of doing it. I try and have some of this on the go constantly. Ingots, wire, and then it will be sort of stock when we need it. That will go in the stock box of the 2x1 mil silver D. That will go in the stock box, so that when I need rings, I'm not having to do all this. Like, I'll keep stock of rings, stock of wire, and stock of the bullion, and it's like almost like a, I want to say a conveyor belt, albeit a very slow moving one, because making the further up the manufacturing chain you go, the longer and slower all these processes are. So making that into 2x1 mil court wire will take me probably from grain to actual wire weeks. Like, it's not because I'm not doing it full time, I'm jumping in and out of it. But then when I need a ring, it's, well, minutes. It's less than, like, turning that, cutting a piece of that off and turning it into a ring, cutting it a few seconds, forming it. I mean, I've done them on live streams. Turning that into rings is probably a 20-minute live stream. Obviously then it takes, we probably spend at least half an hour hand polishing them. So, but yeah, in terms of, but if I had to start from scratch, it's to be honest, you could probably do it in a day if it was the only thing you did. maybe it would run into the, it'd be a long day, but going from grain to finished rings, you'd do it in a day. It'd be a long old day. A lot of downtime when you're waiting for stuff to clean and pickle, and you'd be sat around for a lot of the day doing nothing if that was all you had to do. So that's why I kind of have all these jobs on the go at once. So because while these are pickling, I'll be doing something else, but then what tends to happen is I've got so many jobs on the go, bouncing from one thing to, it's a balancing act, that I didn't quite master it. Thing after 20 years I'd have it nailed, or more. I think we're getting close to 30. Right, these need to be up to a dull. I'm going to keep an eye out that they're not like extruding the black oxide that was coming out of them before. Definitely some tarnish in that. Kind of the colour we want. Just want to hold it there. Yeah, there's some spots. I don't know if they won't really come out on camera because they're hard enough to see here. There's basically a different shade of bright, of red hot. But there's definitely something. It's surface though. It's almost like flux. It looks like it's been fluxed, but there is no flux. Definitely some oxide there, and there's definitely some oxide in the one behind it as well. Really a lot hotter. Yeah, when I was getting it really hot before, it wasn't just surface oxide, it was like extruding out. Never seen anything like it. Again, my suspicions on that kind of lie with the graphite, because again, we're using graphite, and that is a very, it's not new, but it's quite, it's been used as crucibles for decades, a real long time, maybe longer. But originally it was a sort of clay graphite blend, and it was made in Italy. Now we don't know. Now the Chinese are knocking them out, and we've got no idea the technical specs. It's the right colour. Get a little bit of oxide on the surface of that, but nothing like there was before. Normally at this stage I wouldn't really be looking at them this closely, it's just that I want to see if they need melting down again. Because they were effectively 40 last time, right? That'll do on that one. Let's move to the next one. Let's quench that first one. Let's move on to the next one. Yeah, I would say there's something akin to anodizing aluminium happening to these things when we're hand pouring them and rolling them and then drawing them, which I've always noticed, particularly when you go to solder handmade wire, it reacts differently to solder than stuff you get from the bullion dealer. It's almost like it's almost like it's being anodized. And I'm hoping the peening is going to fix it. It's almost like the surface was, there was like a surface layer. It's not oxides, it is silver, but yeah, it's like I keep saying, it's like it's almost like an anodized layer that is more porous. It's almost like a porous version. It doesn't like solder that is porous to the point where it would take, I mean, the same way anodized aluminium takes on dye. This appears to take on board water or pickle when it's hot, and in the same way, you know, anodised the anodising is effectively an oxide, a porous oxide that takes on dye. But this is almost like a porous oxide that doesn't like being soldered and takes on poured water. Right, let's let that cool down a bit. Right, that'll get quenched when it's no longer red hot. And then in the pickle, rinse and repeat. We're back in the rolling mills tomorrow. Right, that is another annealing section done. I'll see you in the next one. Toodles.